Oh man, what is up, everybody? We are finally live. It feels like it's been a week since we've been live. Yeah, but it's about a week, so it's been crazy. Shout out to Barry Beans. Good morning to you too. Welcome back in.
What's up, everybody?
Oh yeah. Uh, and hey, Barry Beans, just check into AI Oz. Sounds like a pretty good project. Yeah, we looked into that last week, but we can look into it again. Uh, Yeah, we're gonna have just going over the same old news. Couple few caveats here and there. Talking about some strategies. I want to talk about how don't neglect investing in stocks and portfolios and things like that. Um, Also, a little bit of news about the markets and inflation and the common trend of deflation going on here. So we got a lot to go over this sauce. So hopefully you guys stay aligned, get those likes up. Thanks for joining in. Follow us; it's free. We really appreciate it. Yeah, this sauce we do look into crypto, but let's cover some of the basics here. We've got Cody on here. If you guys haven't been with us before, we're simply investing. Cody and I talk about crypto, stocks, real estate, businesses, financial news, finance, economy. We kind of talk about it all. Cody's the one that got me into crypto 2 years ago. I've been in it ever since, and I've been trying to coax him into real estate and stocks as we're going. But we're each learning from each other. I own four businesses. I got I have a partial ownership in a construction company. I own a logistics company, a moving company, and a furniture outlet store, which we're now down to 8 stores because I had to shut one down yesterday. So because it was not performing the way, but that's how life goes. Move people around. Um, things Just how things go. But here we are. We're in for another wonderful day here. Market's still trading sideways. We got the crypto market at 1.42 trillion at the market cap, up about 0.75%. Trading volumes at 57 billion, kind of up 30%. Bitcoin dominance squeaked up a little bit at 52.1. Ethereum is at 17.2. We got the greed and fear index at 71. So it still seems like people are being very greedy. Briefly this morning, I noticed that cut it out there. I noticed that Bitcoin was over the 3,800 mark or 38,000 mark there for a little bit. We have Ethereum still holding at 2,000. Everyone's pretty much flat except for Solana. Solana's up 6.5%, getting back into the 60. Was it the $60 range? And but the one thing that's been I've been focusing on because I've been dollar cost averaging in every morning is quant. It's at 98. It was 97 I think yesterday, kind of hovering there. So it's good news if you're dollar cost averaging into quant, getting a little bit more quant for your dollar this time around. I'm just trying to excuse me, keep dollar cost averaging in there as well as dot. Dot is holding strong in the 520 to 530 range. And we have Chainlink still holding in the $14 range. So everyone's just kind of holding the price. I think there's just a lot of selling of profits and a lot of dollar cost averaging in as retail investors start coming back in. As retail investors start coming back in for the holidays, they get a little bit extra money. Also, keep in mind a lot of people who are working in corporate America also are getting their year-end bonuses now or bonuses. So those
Yeah,
are
it
going into
seems.
investments. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Cody.
Oh, it just. I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry.
No worries. Let me catch up on some of these comments. You guys are definitely coming in. Uh, Shout out to the sauce. You guys have a Discord, YouTube, IG. Uh, my IG and the YouTube page is in the TikTok bio. You click the little camera icon, it drops down to those. The Discord is for Patreon, so you can go right in there to Patreon, and you can get the Discord. You can subscribe for free and get the weekly newsletters, which I'm switching to Friday, or you can be a supporter for $3, and you get all exclusive content, all the early access videos, all the Discord and everything. There's one if you guys are thinking about starting a business and have questions or have a business plan and you want me to help you critique it, get it ready for proposals or anything, or help you with setting it up. I could tell you all the ways I did it because I didn't pay someone to set up my businesses. I just learned how to do it myself. So it's all there on that, and we can definitely go have you can definitely go there and have fun there. But thanks for joining in the sauce, and subscribe to YouTube, and also subscribe to Crypto Dream. He's not in yet. He's definitely one of our great supporters and moderators. He also has a YouTube channel. Subscribe to him, and follow Cody at CodyHarris.eth on his TikTok. Give him some follows. Shout out to D. Have you seen the move on IOTA? Some news came out and it's moving. No, I have not. We can definitely check into that in a little bit. Shout out to Brother D. Do you think ADA is bullish as well as XRP? I'm right now. XRP is. I can pull this right up here. It is XRP. Where is it? 8% of my portfolio right now, of my crypto portfolio. I do foresee it being a strong asset for me, but ADA probably will have in the long term a better return on our ROI in the short term than XRP. I'm not expecting XRP to make significant numbers, just kind of getting to 350 to 450 range, maybe 550 at the highest for you guys. But other than that, everything just kind of trading sideways. We do have fears of deflation happening, and deflation isn't. And I've been seeing it around on YouTube, TikTok. It's been showing up on my feed. People, it's not as good as what people think it's going to be. Deflation tends to happen when we have a rapid increase in supply with a rapid decrease of demand. So prices start downtrotting really quick, and then all of a sudden businesses start going out of business. So you really don't want that to happen. What we really need is just a steady, like decade rate of deflation, kind of like what we had after 2008, where everything peaked, but then it just started going down to about 2018, and then probably back up again. Because I remember that gas was like, I think at the peak was like $5 a gallon, and this was what my experience was in New Jersey, and then afterwards it went down to like $2, and I think it briefly touched $1.50 a gallon for a while there. But there is going to be some deflation as people cannot afford to do things like fixing their cars, fixing things like that. So prices are going to come down. It's going to hurt retailers like Target, Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club, because the cost of doing business is not going to change. The price, the only thing that's changing is the price they can sell it at. And I think we're switching from a consumer-based mentality to more of a work and produce mentality in the long run. So I definitely see some changes coming down. So, but Cody, what are some of your thoughts on deflation? I know Cody's young; he's 23. I'm in my 40s, so I've lived through some more crises than him. But what are some of your thoughts on the topic of deflation?
The uneducated people are going to see deflation as opposite of inflation, automatically good. But people like you and me, like I don't mean this in any condescending way, like I'm better than you way. But people who are in finance, we understand that deflation is not a good thing either. You want to have a balance of the economy. You're never going to get a full balance of anything in life. Nothing's 100% balanced. Like nothing is. Even though I believe life is a balance, but I just think it's going to take some time for our economy to level out. It's going to take some time. We're going to kind of have like a 2021 again. But I feel like we're going to have a few years of economic expansion. Like our economy is going to get better. But it's never going to be one way up and one way down. It's going to be up, down, up, down, up, down. Like the economy, it's going to go through these cycles like throughout our lifetime. Like we're going to have good periods and bad periods until the day we die. That's just what I believe.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to we're gonna I'm Cody and I are pretty much on the same page. I think we're gonna have a nice economic boom coming in the next few years after this recession. And I think the recession is mild, but only feels bad because a lot of people that are in the job markets now and everything haven't experienced a downward economy. So a recession seems really bad, but it's not. It's just a common cycle. You have the ebb and flows. When you rise up, you go down. We're really not going down. We're just leveling off to a cooling period because the central bank and the government kind of artificially pumped up the economy by pumping in a several $1 trillion into it. So now all of a sudden we had all this free money, and we just kind of the populace just kind of went wild with it. Now that money's being pulled out of the system, and it's kind of like, you got to think of it like, if a lot of you guys are in crypto, so it's kind of like the government is burning the money. Like they're taking view the money as like a stable coin, and then they're like taking it and putting it into a wallet that no one has access to, and essentially burning it out of circulation. So that's basically what the central bank is doing. So they're starting to suck the money out. I see it through higher taxes because, like, I just got a bill today from the IRS for $202,000. So I'm just went ahead and paid it, sent them that check. And that's why I always say you got to keep cash in reserves for shenanigans like that. Like, don't listen to these financial gurus talking about you should have zero, because if I had $0 and that they came in and said, "Hey, you owe us this," I would be like, "Oh shit, I don't have the money to pay you today." And they say, "Well, I guess you're gonna face the consequences." Instead, they come in and say, "Hey, you owe us this." "Oh, no problem. Here, you got my checkbook. How much?" "Okay, yeah, here you go. Cut that check." "Oh, I'll ACH draw it." So, and if I have to, I could pay it out of my personal, but that's why I keep a reserve fund for my business. And your business, if you are a business owner, your business, how you run your business is going to be a reflection of how you operate in your personal financial life as well. But now that we're having this cooling off effect, I see a lot of my competitors not understanding how to survive in this market, and they are definitely going to be crumbling in there. But shout out to D. Thank you so much for joining in. Looking at IOTA, I did not hear it because I'm not a penny stock watcher. Penny stocks are any stocks under $1. I don't know the news. You might have to, if you could share the article with us. You can go to our YouTube channel, join the stream, and put that into the chat. And we can definitely take a look at it. But I haven't heard about, because I don't pay attention to penny stocks, because I make more holding the long term companies I have than I do looking into every penny stock and trying to trying to navigate that route. Shout out to the sauce. Your thoughts on algo? It has not been doing well for a while. No, it hasn't. I haven't really paid attention to it, but we can take a look at it. But it just hasn't been going in. I know we talked about it a few months ago. I mean, it did okay during the relief rally, but on the year since, we're looking at, what is this, 50% down, whereas you got Bitcoin and Ethereum are naturally up for the year. Let me see. Is there any news? I don't even know if we're still talking about NFT sales. I mean, it's not going to come back to where it was in 2021. But yeah, I'm in agreement with the first article I see is Algo overshadowed by ADA in NFT sales and meme moguls. It's like Cardano just has a more built out platform than them. Not to say that it can't make it, because when you look at it, it hasn't hit its all time high since its release. So after that, the next high is right around here, $2.30. So I it is on my it is on one of my watch lists. I don't know why I just can hear about put it on my watch list here too. But we're talking down 96% from its high. It's just not having as much traction. I'd rather get ADA than Algo, if that makes any sense. Oh, Cody kind of stepped out here for a second. He'll probably join back in. Uh, Shout out to Neil. Let's see here. Where'd you go? There you go. Shout out to Neil. What unique IRL utility does XRP have that Venmo and Cash App doesn't? Well, I can tell you right now, I use Venmo for my business, and Venmo takes about 3 days to transfer money out of it. So I do have quite a few people that use it. Cash App is the same thing, but Cash App is very centralized, and they sometimes can withhold or negate transactions on a whim. But what XRP does is it's instantaneous. So it's like if I do a sale with my, let's say I for my moving company, we complete a move, client pays, and we pay through a ledger payment app, to the XRP ledger and a payment app. I can get my money within a couple seconds for a penny. If you use Venmo, they take like 2.5% for businesses. Cash App, they take something like 1% or something like that. They take a fee for you. So XRP takes a fee, but we're only talking a penny to move thousands of dollars. And since I have seven sites, about 30 to 40 transactions per day, times 7 sites, the amount of fees I save with an XRP payment system is significant compared to Venmo and Cash App. So that's where XRP utility is, and it's faster, it's more reliable, and it's a little bit more decentralized, where once it's done on the ledger, that's it. You can't reverse it. So I'm definitely look I definitely I'm definitely looking forward to XRP or any payment platforms. I know there's some coming up on Hedera that are just as good as XRP, as some of the ones on XRP. So that's the advantage that's going to have. And sending money to, like, let's say like El Salvador is going to be a lot cheaper than using those. Shout out to D. What prices to take profit on XRP on the way to 350? Well, I've been holding XRP um, since I got in at 93 cents. I mean, dollar cost averaging as it was going down. Then when it was 25 cents, I was really buying in. And then I would say I was thinking about taking profits at 60 cents, but I will probably start taking profits at $1.50 and just keeping it at about 8% of my portfolio as it rises up. But if it gets to 350, I'll probably sell 90% of my XRP holdings. I got a few more people in here. Glad to have you guys in. Man, sorry about the unstable connection there, because things are coming back. Shout out to the sauce. No way you're 40. You look younger. Yep. Born in 1983. I just turned 40 a couple weeks ago. Or actually, really, yeah, a couple weeks ago. I don't feel 40. Other than I have a fear of my hair is thinning out, but that it is what it is. Shout out to J Skills. Welcome in. Glad to have you back in here, 007. What do you think of LCX? Yeah, we could take a look at that. Are you referring to LCX as a crypto, or LCX as a crypto, or as a stock? I don't see it. I'm guessing you're referring to the crypto. Definitely go up here. Because I haven't heard about it. I haven't heard about it. But let's see here. Let me just see. Let me just read up on what LCX is. I think, can I get to the about section? Okay, here we go. All right. LCX is available for trading growing on exchanges. Oh, that's very. Oh, I'm going to have to look at the white paper. So let's see here. We'll share this. Let's take a look at the white paper together for that. Yeah, founded in 2018. I mean, it seems okay. But I got to figure out what it's about, and it looks like it's going to take me a while to read it. But if I just go off of just the charts, if I go off just looking at the graph here, it seems like it had a little run up there, and but it seems like we are headed towards headed towards it seems like it's headed towards a nice little getting back to value. Sorry, I'm getting calls in as we're talking for my business. I guess business is kicking off quickly. Um let's see here. Let's see here. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a deep dive for you there. On that one, J Skills, but thanks for bringing that one to my attention. I'm gonna have to bring that one out for you. Um Is IOTA part of the 2023 ISO tokens? I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to do research on that one too, but because I don't pay attention to it unless it's up there, unless if it's on a regular exchange. Shout out to drinking brewski. Where do you see quant in the bull run? It won't move right now. Well, quant's very stable in its price, doesn't fluctuate too much. So I'm thinking I'm seeing Cody and I are thinking we're seeing quant somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 during the bull run. That's but we're holding it for the long term. We're in like the next 10 years. That's been our decision on the position there. But it's definitely a good token. Right now it's under 100 and we dollar cross average heavy in the quant, although Cody is not doing it right now. He's getting more ETH and Chainlink right now. Shout out to Live and Learn. Welcome in, another one of our great supporters. And shout out to Cali X2. Glad to have you in here. Welcome back. Another one of our great supporters. And yeah, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving too, buddy. I certainly did. It was definitely very fun. Got to see my dad. I haven't seen him in 6 years. So definitely very wonderful Thanksgiving for me. Okay, yeah, that's a crypto. Yeah, so I was looking at the right one. So yeah, we're gonna have to do a deep dive on that one there. It's an exchange. Shout out to Johnny Flowers. It's an exchange. I'm guessing you're talking about IOTA. So I'll have to, I'll have to take a look into that. Let's see here. Just want to get some clarity here. Oh, I see long term. Yeah, we're in it for the long term on this. Shout out to Steve.eth. You see GameStop? No, I've been seeing it's been just crashing and going down since that thing, but I haven't really paid attention to it. So let's take a look. Year. Well, it's down 37% on the year. Month. Oh, managed to make a nice return in the month. Shout out to Crypto Cleaner. When you say you're in quant for long term, are you saying you're not going to sell in the bull market? No, I will take profits in the bull market, but I will still always be holding quant. Like I'm not going to get like cash out of everything. I foresee it having a much higher return on, excuse me, return on investment for the long term. I don't really see. I'm not trying to get in, bull run, sell out, get back in. Um, it's definitely it's definitely something I'm going to hold, but if it does hit those, I will take profits. I would suggest anyone take profits when they feel comfortable in taking profits. So, but yeah, GameStop, it hasn't really been. Let me share the screen here. I mean, they beat their Q2 earnings, but they haven't done their. Oh, they'll be available December 6th. So they make a profit? I can't tell. It's hard to say. I think they might have barely squeaked by or broke even. Yeah, the calls are paying today. It has a pretty good run up, so hopefully people made a well educated guess on it. But man, the only thing I could say is if you got into it in 2019, you would have made it because it was like what, $1, $81. Man, it looks like it's going back to its true valuation, wherever that may be. That's where it's going to be. I remember like 10 years ago, GameStop had a very similar outcome, but it's getting harder because back in the day, when I guess before GameStop took over Electronics Boutique, it used to be all about the gaming experience. Like if you had news about gaming, video games and everything, you had to go to GameStop. Now, now you can go to Reddit and all that other stuff. So you don't need player guides anymore. You don't need all that stuff. I remember getting all that stuff when I was a kid. And so GameStop just seems kind of redundant now. Like all you can really go to them is just buying used games or consoles. And there's pawn shops and local game shops can do that better than GameStop, and they might get better condition ones. So I think if you made money off of the calls, then bravo, good job to you. But it looks like it's heading back to where its true valuation was. Because even during the pandemic, it didn't rise until the massive amount of people joining in for that GameStop short and squeezing out, doing that short squeeze. And then it's just kind of been, people just been holding it instead of selling the stock. So it's going back. It may go back under $10 probably in the next year or two. So I'd just be wary about that. Let's see here. Shout to Lex Diamond. Where would you keep your crypto? The cold wallet doesn't hold. I don't invest in cryptos that aren't on my hard wallet. I do invest in them on, if I do, it would be on Uphold. I don't keep it on anything else. I don't keep crypto on anything else other than just Uphold. So yeah, that's just my thoughts there. But if it's not on my Ledger or Arceus wallet, then I'm not putting money into it. That's the first thing I look at. If I can't put it on my hard wallet, then I'm not going to invest in it. That's just how I am. That's how I protect myself in this market here. But let me get back to Lex. Okay, I already favored it. So yeah, I'll have to go back and do. I got a lot of videos I got to make for you guys. So as they come, I don't know if Cody's coming back in. He might be a little busy. But overall, it's like we're dealing with the same thing. Although we had a kind of a soft output with Binance last year, I said the next biggest thing would be what's going to happen to Binance. Kind of had it. So the worst case scenario was it crashes and goes out of business like FTX did, but it didn't. We had a very mild case, so then it's going to go. it's going to go a little. It's gonna start. I think the decline of Binance is happening right now, and I think something else is going to take its place. But it wasn't bad for the markets. Um, Shout out to Lex Diamond. Does Arceus hold more than Ledger in terms of variety? No, Ledger holds more than Arceus. Arceus is just a convenient one that you can put on your phone, and it has a 3-layer verification system, which is what I like about it. Shout out to the sauce. Do you hold any silver and gold? I don't hold any commodities right now, especially now if we're dealing with deflation. Commodities are going to go down because they're kind of like there's a fixed amount of it. So the supply is always going to be the same. It's just a changing of demand. Um, so I wouldn't hold it just yet. I was thinking about buying gold in a couple years, and gold, platinum, oil, going back to commodities trading. But you gotta be careful with commodities, especially like wheat, barley, perishable commodities, because you need to be able to trade those properly. And it's totally reliant on how the global climate's doing and harvest conditions and things like that. Shout out to El Genti. I heard the yen crashed. Anyone hear this too? Well, the yen crashed, I think, like 3 times in my lifetime. And it's been on a very stagnant downward projection, mainly due to their stagnant population and the lack. And since they have a stagnant population, it's created a lack of innovation, which has created a stagnant currency. Because the yen was on the rise when I was in the 90s, and it seemed like everything was coming together and everything was going to be great for them. And then, like, 2008 hit, and they just been on a downward trajectory. However, they have sold a massive amount of their U.S. debt holdings, which is probably caused, since it's not backed as much by the U.S. dollar, the value of it's going to go down. And speaking of that, people keep saying the U.S. dollar is going to crash. The value may change, but right now we're actually seeing the value to the U.S. dollar come back. I don't think enough people are talking about it because it's not like a easy to spot thing, so a lot of people miss it. But it's easier to pitch the doom and gloom than it is to pitch the good news. So I I want to just say this, like, the value of the dollar is coming back because I'm watching. We're not dropping fast, but the prices of, like, fuel, oil, milk, eggs, meat are just, and fruits and vegetables are slowly dropping. And people are talking about they can't get vegetables. Well, it's like, you guys, a lot of you young people grew up in a time where the fruits and vegetables were available because of factory farming. Now factory farming is kind of collapsing, and we're going back to how it was when I was growing up. So you got plums when plums were in season. You got apples when apples were in season. You got strawberries when strawberries were in season. Like, you got them when they were in season. You didn't get them when they were out of season. So you did. So now we're kind of going back to that, and I think that's a good way to go back to, because it will deprogram a lot of younger people, and I'd say like 30 and younger, from it, because you've been programmed on everything's available at any time, and now we're going back to everything, like, all food is only going to be available when it's in season, and you have to learn to ration, parcel, and do a lot of other things. Shout out to Crypto Caddy. Welcome in. Glad to have you in here. Very glad to have a great supporter back in. Shout out to Richard's brother. I have a question. You said you don't like blockchain CDs because they're too risky. However, I heard you say you short. I heard you say you short crypto. Only very rarely, and that's if I have the money to risk and do risk tolerance. Right now, I'm not shorting anything, stocks or otherwise. I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm I'm really just buying and holding right now. I've switched the last 6 months, I've switched over to just really buy, hold, buy real world assets. I've been focusing on cash flow, which cash flow is maintaining the businesses, building up the businesses, building up the real estate companies, investing in other businesses that can bring back value, things like that. Shout out to the sauce. The U.S. dollar is coming back due to the manufacturer manufactured war. Every time the world goes back to the strong U.S. dollar. Just my belief. No, you're absolutely right. The U.S. best economies we've had historically since the beginning of, or actually since the beginning of time. The only one that was bad was our Civil War. It kind of crushed the economy afterwards. But other than that, every time there's a war in the world, the United States has a good economy. That's mainly because we manufacture some of the best and most high tech weaponry. Even though we keep the best of the best for ourselves, we still sell that to our NATO allies. So there definitely is some strength to that. So yes, we do have a, and our economy is slowly starting to turn around, but also it's got to go through the kinks got to be worked out and go through before, like, unemployment's got to be stabilized. And when I mean stabilized, I mean unemployment's got to hit somewhere between 6 to 8%. We're currently at like 3.9%, so we still got a long way to go. Interest rates are probably going to have to climb a little bit higher. Some bubbles still got to pop, so we'll have to see. Shout out to System 31. Is this the best time to buy stock? It's a good time to start dollar cost averaging in. It's starting to rise. Like, I noticed my stock portfolio is up 12% on the month right now. Some of my picks are up 50%. But yeah, I think my best performer was Porch Moving Group. I had a holdings of $99,000 to now it's valued at 243,000. So it's definitely a win there. But I've been holding it for the whole year because I know that the moving industry is going to keep picking up. But overall, now is a good time to start dollar cost averaging in, start getting into wealth front betterment funds for stocks and everything, and the hedge funds, ETF, spider index funds, things like that. Shout out to Fitman. Please check bitcoinspark.org. They launch on December 1st. Now is December 1st. Now it's on ICO sale. It's a mining app. Yeah, we could check into that. I was actually got to leave in a little bit, so but we could check in onto that in a little bit. Shout out to System 31, $1 to Mexican pesos, $17. You mean 17 pesos? That sounds about right. It used to be when I was growing up like 5 to 6 pesos per $1. So it's weird because the economy should be growing, but it's going back down. Um, U.S. dollar is very weak in Mexico the past year. That's true because their economy is starting to pick up. Like manufacturing and stuff is heading there, exiting China and going to Mexico. Shout out to El Genti. The yen was doing good in the 90s. So was the rand. Even the Haitian good was on its way. On its way. What happened? The 2008 crisis. The change in the economy. We went from an industrialized manufacturing economy to an information based economy once the 2000s hit. So that kind of started to decline. And if you weren't into high grade technology and technological growth, then you're kind of X'd out of it. But then 2008 just kind of leveled all playing fields because a lot of the small countries went bankrupt, such as like Haiti and like some smaller African countries because just couldn't support that system there. Welcome back, Cody.
I'm so sorry. I had the girl I was talking to, we were having a conversation about something and I couldn't, like, the stream app that we're using was glitching up and I had to send her a video and I was talking to her about something really important. So yeah, I forgot to join back the stream after we finished.
Oh, no worries. No worries. You kind of gotten through. a lot of topics uncrypto related. um, but yeah, just really catching up on all you guys here. But yeah, that's basically what happened for those countries in the '90s. Like those currencies dropped because we switched over to an information based and technology based economy.
Can you give me a kind of like a rundown of what I missed?
We talked about algo. Uh, was it? It's algo. We talked about a few other penny stocks, and we've really been talking about the Japanese yen, peso, and things like that. Um, but I was actually about ready to we're going to sum it up in about 12 minutes for you guys. Um, and I just been catching up on everyone's comments here. Um, Shout out to CJ Jones. Welcome back in. AMP prediction. Yeah, let's take a look at AMP here again. Seems to be a
AMP
crowd.
is kind of a weird one to me because I mean AMP is a good project. Like what its use case sounds good, but the SEC did go after it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Well, just to make it clear, the SEC is going to be going after a lot of cryptos before Gary Gensler leaves or is on his way out. So just keep that in mind. They're just kind of like throwing out Hail Marys all over the place. But and prediction, it's very hard for me to say. I mean, it got up to what was its high? Somewhere around 9, 10 cents. If it makes a comeback, don't be surprised if we're only looking at like 3 cents for it. Because it just seems like the traction went down, especially since it was targeted by the SEC. I don't know what the outcome was on that. It had a lot of traction and everything in the beginning when they launched, but now it's kind of like in the poo poos. So, but that's not to say that you're off of this in during the next bull run. I mean, isn't AMP related to like gaming, or am I thinking of something else? I have to relook up what AMP is. I just remembered it's not something I'm following, but we checked into it a few months ago. It can rise with it with the bull market, but wouldn't expect to make a huge return on investment on it. It's just my opinion on it for you guys. Um, Shout out to the sauce. I'm new to the real estate world. Will the interest decrease? If so, how quickly will it drop from 8%? My opinion, I don't think it's gonna drop. I think we're gonna start seeing 10 to 12% mortgage rates. When you're looking to invest, you just got to invest when it feels right to you or in properties that make sense. Because if you're trying to hold out for lower rates, you're going to miss the return on equity. Like the biggest example is in the early 80s, interest rates were mortgage rates were at 18%. And if you didn't buy a house then and waited till interest rates dropped, you would have missed out on 4xing your money on real estate over the last 30 years. So it's my thing is if it makes sense, I'll buy it. I really was done buying real estate. Then I saw this 10 duplex property portfolio. Someone was trying to offload for 1.2 million or 1.3 million. So I'm going to go chase that down. I put in an offer. We'll see if they accept it. I'm kind of going to have to pull money from my reserve fund on my real estate company, but I have I have a huge chunk in there. It's going to take a chunk out of it, but I'm still going to try to get it. I'm if I mortgage it, I think they said I'm going to get like a 7.25% interest rate with a local bank that I'm going to use for it. So I think it'll be fine in the long run. So, but I'm still buying real estate regardless of what the interest rates are because my goal is finance, get the property, and then try to pay off the debt as quickly as possible. Shout out to Ooh, man, you guys coming in hard. Shout out to Steve East, S&P 500 to 500. That would be a pretty big crash, but you know, we've seen worse. We've seen worse in the history of the U.S. economy. Shout out to Cali.
That would be massive.
That would be massive. It'd be a good time to buy too. Uh, Shout out to Cali. Last couple years, the dollar peso exchange rate has been in the mid 20s. Yeah, and it's probably going to go get back to the 5-to-1 ratio that it was at when more and more businesses start investing, but they got to get a handle on a lot of the crime, the border related crime, and not and to a lot of people's belief, not a lot of it is cartels. Like they don't really want to be on anyone's radar. That's like it's bad for business. The problem is like the guys that are like they're not related to the cartels, but they're kind of like these like fence sitters that you kind of have to get through on either side, and they're the ones causing the problems. They're the ones mugging and doing all that stuff. They're the ones doing a lot of crazy stuff. Shout out to the sauce. I'm an investor working with a team uh, in Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Florida, Marina Markets, Virginia. Oh, okay. Um, I'm not. Oh, the Discord link to sauce. You have to join the Patreon, and it's way down there. Way down. I don't know if you joined. If you at the end of the stream, if I see that you joined, I'll message it to you on the app for you. There for you, buddy. So that way you can have it. Shout out to Steve Eth. Ginsler is still filling his bags. Absolutely, Ginsler is still filling his damn bags. I can't
Sure,
argue.
still has his ETH.
Yeah, I have a feeling like that mysterious like $400 million Ethereum wallet. I think that's his.
Yeah, and I also think he has multiple wallets. Like, yeah, that's his wallet, but I also think he has a personal wallet that he DCAs into. I fully believe he buys Bitcoin and Ethereum. He does.
Yeah, I also
And
think he
and
has an XRP wallet too.
Bitcoin, listen, Bitcoin is becoming so widely known that I was on a Call of Duty Reddit, and I'm on like just random places on the internet, and I see people with Bitcoin profile pics, like on stuff that isn't even crypto related. Like I'm seeing more and more people like believe in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like it's a great sign to see because even in 2017, people talk about, oh, well, Google Trends says, despite having a bull run in 2021, Google Trends says Bitcoin's interest and popularity peaked in 2017. I think that's a load of shit because, I mean, yeah, it's easy to cherry pick information that fits your narrative. So if you think
Mhm.
crypto is a scam, it's easy to cherry pick information and get information that goes with your narrative. It's like I'm seeing a lot of just random people in random places, starting to get into it based on this economy. Like I truly believe
Yep.
because of our economy is the way that it is, people are looking for that route and people are going to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like I'm seeing it every day.
Oh yeah. And it's like, just keep in mind if you think something's a scam, the algorithms on the internet are funneling stuff that they think that you want, and it's through those quantum mechanic algorithms. It's very easy to predict people's decision making in nature. Shout out to El Ginty. SEC needs to go after Safe Moon. Oh yeah, it does. That was a Ponzi scheme wrapped in fraud, wrapped in all other bullshit. There's no way. I don't understand that why. The only thing I can say that makes sense is that the SEC was going after certain tokens to depress the value of the tokens so that somebody could make a bag off of it. That was it. Because like they did that on XRP, and I have a funny feeling it would not surprise me if Ginsler had a XRP Ledger wallet that has a whole bunch of XRP in it, and he was just suppressing the price so himself and if several of his cronies could get in there. Let's see here. I think we got a shout out to Fitman. Do you think the next bull market narrative will be gaming and AI? I think the AI bubble has popped or is about ready to pop. So I don't think AI is going to make it to the bull run, but gaming is definitely on my mind on the forefront. If you go back and look at all the live replays on YouTube, we always talk about gaming being a big part of the next bull run. And you could probably pick any of the gaming tokens or just blanket invest in any of them and you'll make a good return. Um, Shout out to the sauce. 10 to 12%. Wow. I do mostly creative financing subject to seller financing, etc. Yeah, we're going to see much higher mortgage rates. Oops. Shout out to Crypto Cleaner, 10 plex for 1.3 million. Yeah, they're duplexes. They are in, where was it? It was in Boonville, Arkansas. It was like Boonville, Arkansas or something. It's like down really out. It was out in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas. Like it's why it was kind of flaky. Like if you go away from Little Rock and Northwest Arkansas and maybe like Hot Springs, Arkansas, or Tulsa and Oklahoma, you go out to those fringe towns, man, it's cheap. I've been buying houses in Parsons for like $30,000, like Parsons, Kansas, for 30,000, and people you just fix them up, you rent them out. There's people there, they work at the chicken plant or they work at some steel plant out there and they work on the railroads or truckers and they can certainly pay they'll pay the $800-900. That's my bread and butter. Buying those cheap homes, putting about $30,000 worth of work into them, and we get them all in the market for rent, and we rent them out for $900 a month. You know, you're getting a 3-bedroom house for $900 a month out there with a nice yard. You know, there's a lot of people out there. They're working hard. They're blue collar workers. They pay their bills, but their credit's bad, so they can't even get a mortgage for an $80,000 house. So they need to rent. But yes, I found it on Facebook. I messaged them, put in an offer, but we got to see the books, and then before I pull the trigger on that. Shout out to El Ginty, Coin broke its all-time high and is still rising. Are you talking about
Coinbase stock. Yep, Coinbase
Coinbase stock?
stock. That's what he's talking about. Because
Oh
coin
yeah,
is the ticker for that.
I know that man, it's been all over the place today. You know, people, what the hell is that? 127? Okay, how
Yeah.
much did I make off of this damn thing?
Yeah, Coinbase going crazy.
Wow, I definitely made a buck off of that. Holy crap. Just yeah, that made me almost $40,000 from last month. Wow.
Damn.
Wasn't paying attention to that. But for you guys to know, my Coinbase holdings on stock is about 5% of my portfolio there. So and
Sorry
keep
if
in
you hear
mind,
my chair a little bit. I got a chair that sounds like it needs WD-40. So my bad.
no worries there. Yeah, for those you guys know, I've been holding my stock portfolio since I was Cody's age. I've been building it, so you know, and
And that's what I tell people. That's the age you want to start building it at. They're like, no, man. Like I have even women like I talk to or date. They're all like, you seem like you're just too focused on the future. Like I'm worried about right now. You know, that's what everybody tells me. Like they're worried about right now and stuff. And it's like it's crazy that hyper focusing on the future is seen as like a bad thing, because I mean you don't want to neglect the present. I'm not neglecting the present, I'm building in the present for the future, so technically you can't really say that's neglecting the present. I think what people think is neglecting the present is not going out and doing degenerate things young people are expected to do.
exactly there. Oh, shout out to Crypto Dream joining in, and as we always say, help support our supporters. He has his own channel. We're trying to get him to 500 subscribers on YouTube. Crypto Dream on YouTube. Go shout him out. He's been a great supporter and a great moderator. So you guys don't piss him off because he will delete your comments. Just letting you guys know. Don't piss off any of our moderators. Please keep it civil, keep it friendly in the chat. And you guys have been for the most part.
I haven't seen any Hexicans for almost a month. For almost a
Oh,
month.
funny, you missed ones. They're in here right now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
not
that's
commenting,
crazy,
but they're in
bro.
here right now. So
They're trying to liquidity dump on us. They're trying to dump on us for that profit because things are tough.
yeah, but I'm dropping the link so you guys can join us live for a little bit. If you guys want to hop on, give yourself some opinions. Some of them are waving at you on TikTok, Cody.
What's up? What's up? I love posting on TikTok. If you follow my TikTok, I appreciate you very much. I know El Genti. I like El Genti a lot. Like he's a smart dude. Like he follows my TikTok and he has a pretty good portfolio too. So I mean, I like El Genti. He came from us. So shout out to El Genti if you're in here, man. Much blessings to you, brother. I like your content.
There we go. And shout out to El Ginty. Oh, shout out to Angel. Hello from Maui. Wonderful. My parents I helped my parents buy their dream home. My dad's dream home. He dreamed of being able to retire to Hawaii. And my parents did their honeymoon in Hawaii and always loved it. And we actually went back there for their 15th anniversary. We went back there as a family. So, and we're probably going to go back there for their 42nd anniversary, which is coming up next year. So, and I was happy that, my anniversary, my early 42nd anniversary gift for them was helping them get their dream home out there. So it's a 3-bedroom house. It's very nice. It's very quaint for them, and all one level. So it's good for my dad. So he doesn't have to go up and down stairs. Although for a 75-year-old, he's pretty spry. I was out there on Thanksgiving weekend doing yard work with him, and I couldn't keep up. That's a shame on my fat butt. The 7-year-old man is outdoing me. So I had to keep working and not let him outbeat me. But shout out to Crypto Dream. What is today's subject? We're just going over market data and everything. We talked briefly about currencies. We talked a little bit about GameStop, which I'm still surprised is still around. I think they might bite the bullet in the next 5 years because all gaming is going virtual. Like there's going to be no more.
Exactly. 2008 and I mean 2000. I want to say 2011 because I remember Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2. Those came out in 2011, 2012. People were lined up for those games. I think after 2013 is when the trend of lining up for a video game release died. After 2013.
Yes, you're probably right. Because I remember in college, this was early 2000s. Like we had to rush to get there because that was Halo 2 was coming out. We had to rush to get there.
Like a sneaker release.
Yep, and I still didn't get my copy, and I pre-ordered and paid in full. Ever since then, I never bought. I only bought a game when it was there in my hands. So, but I don't even play video games anymore. I just haven't in 20 years. I only play with my brother, and I lose. I get told how horrible I am at gaming. So, but it's fun. I've turned into my dad. I suck at all video games.
I'm playing Call of Duty right now. I'm playing Modern Warfare 3 while we're streaming.
The crazy thing is I used to play the very first Call of Duty when it was doing the World War II stuff. And I remember being somewhat decent at it. But now if I try to play those type of first-person shooters, I wouldn't be able to do well with it.
Well, Call of Duty has this thing nowadays called skill-based matchmaking. So they match people with your exact skill, but the problem is it's so egregious that it's just like the people you match with on the matchmaking. It's just too hard. Like it makes you want to rage and throw your controller.
I definitely understand that. I hear my brother going through that all the time in his room. Shout out to El Genti on TikTok. I've seen a rise of people who's going live about crypto. Yeah, when the market starts doing well, people want to talk about it because the euphoria is coming back. People are talking about it. The grifters start coming back. The finance gurus are coming back saying, "Oh, look, I've been in here the whole time." They're not in crypto. They spend their money too fast to be in crypto. They're they're just on the sidelines waiting for when they can make click-based content. Which now it's good to have click-based content, and unfortunately, it. That's just a part of the thing. Like even Cody and I, our channel doesn't really do as well. But then all of a sudden, we just been starting like we were rising about 10% in viewership every month, and now all of a sudden we're rising like 16, 17, 18%. But that's mainly because where the relief rally happened, people are saying I made money. I mean, I see people making money on that I know aren't making money off of crypto saying that they made like $300,000. I'm like, but you don't even have money. Like you're barely able to pay for that apartment. How the hell you make $300,000? Like that's not how finance works. But it's also the same thing. Like the be your own boss gurus and get rich quick, be your own boss schemes have all died. All people are slugging back in. Oh, can I come work? Oh, can I come? I must have had like 100 calls from people that used to work for me that said they were going to start their own business, be their own boss, and they could do it better than I can. And now they're coming back. Oh, do you have an opening? Do you have a job? I was like, no, told you this shit is hard. Even today, I do not. I woke up today saying, in my mind, saying, the hell with all this crap. I just want to sleep. I don't want to do business. I don't want to run anything. I just want to sleep, watch movies, and be by myself. And I can't do that. I have to get up here, get this shit done, get in here, get the office done, get working, keep going. Like I was on a call earlier this morning with with another broker hashing out a deal for my logistics company, another like $7.5 million worth of freight that we're going to be moving. Like, it's on and on and on and on and on, and it's exhausting. And a lot of you people think like this is the easy ticket. Like, no, I was up. I got done at 10 o'clock, had really a small dinner, went to sleep, woke up at 3:30, worked out, came into came into the office, started doing some work, started setting up for everything. I have calls from people, and even after calls from people all across the nation. And I got calls from people like I got a furniture company that we're going to start doing online final mile deliveries for, and the owner's out in India. So I got to coordinate with that. So it's like this shit is hard. I don't recommend this at all. If I could go back and do it all again, I'd probably just stayed in corporate America. I was making mid six figures and doing fine in life. That was a hell of a lot easier than doing all this crap. All this crap, just mind-boggling. And now I understand why some people are so frustrated when they don't have their coffee. Because like if I don't have coffee, my head just kills me. Shout out to I think one year it was I think it was Live and Learn. Shout out to you. Thanks for sponsoring the live there. Um, Shout out to Live and Learn. That was so nice of you. Your parents must be so proud of you. Yeah, it was definitely nice. Now we're working on. Now I'm working on trying to help my brother live his dream because he really wants to be a writer and he doesn't want to. I mean, he's good at managing logistics in the warehouse. He's the CEO of a logistics company. So he does very well.
Your
Like he
brother
he
has a massive chain link bag, I will say. Like,
oh
he
yeah.
is going to hit it hard next bull run because I know for a fact it's not even an if. Chainlink is going to run up next bull run. It's going to do way better because last bull run Chainlink underperformed. Like, your brother is going to do so well on his Chainlink bag. It's not even funny. He's going to be laughing to the bank.
Oh yeah. He put a lot of money and he still puts a lot of money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink. And right now his salary matches mine, but he's just on the moving company side or moving and logistics company. So his salary comes out to about 580,000, But since he's not a technical owner of the family business, so we can pay him a salary. So and then he gets dividends. So all his dividends that he gets from the moving and logistics company and our holdings company, which pays out to all our family members from all the businesses that we do own, because these are the ones I own. But there's businesses that my mom owns. There's business that my dad has ownership in that was passed on to him from my grandfather. Like there's a lot. We have like generations worth of wealth put into that and just slowly building over the last like 5 generations. So my brother makes a lot of money, and he puts it all into stocks and now is putting a certain amount into crypto.
Yeah, and it's like I love my situation. Like I kind of love the process. Like yeah, sometimes I get upset, that I'm not there yet. I don't have my own place yet and stuff. I still live with my parents, but it's like I love the process at the same time because it's like the process just feels good. Like man, buying crypto for me, like I get a dopamine release. Like I have borderline personality disorder. I have ADHD, so I'm not your typical everyday normal person. Like I'm not a normal person. I consider myself like odd. I consider myself like I'm not normal. So things like enjoying the process of coming up. What I like is boring to people because I'm neurodivergent. So what I like is it's probably why it seems like the people I meet they're talking about you live for tomorrow too much because I mean I have a different type of brain.
Exactly, and you got to realize it takes it takes all kinds to really work in this world. Like you can't just no one, not everybody can be the same, and it's just the way it's just the way the world works. But when you have people with all different mindsets, lifestyles, and everything coming together and sharing information, that's when we get true growth. Because then you can see it from all points and be able to grow. Uh,
Exactly. The universe designed us that way. It's by design.
oh yeah, definitely. Shout out to the sauce. My stepdad is the same way. Them old school men and work exactly. Um, Shout out to El Genti. I'm trying to get my kids into the PS2 games. Oh yeah, those are the best. Like the last one I really played was Final Fantasy X on that.
Crash Bandicoot, Sonic the Hedgehog. This is my childhood. Crash Bandicoot, Mega Man, Sonic the Hedgehog, stuff like that. I loved Crash Bandicoot, and I loved Mega Man as well. Mega Man was, I wanted to be Mega Man. Like,
Exactly. And shout out to K Max. Welcome in. Glad to have you in here. Definitely glad to have you in here. And see, I hope am I catching up with all your guys' comments. Shout out to System 31. Why not just forget about it and relax and enjoy your profits? Yeah, it's true, but I'm 40 and I gotta work, but also it's not like I'm running a business where I have like 4 or 5 people with me. I have about 200 people through all the companies that work for me. And if I stop, now I can't shut down business, or I don't even want to sell off the businesses and put them in a situation where they got to find a better just as well paying job. That would cause a lot of stress on them. So I don't want to do that. I'd rather take the stress and keep working and keep having these guys make some money, because some of these guys are making some bank with me.
yeah, and I feel like people would hear your situation and be like, "Oh, you're probably not as rich as you say you are, because if you were truly that rich, you would be on an island somewhere enjoying life." That's not necessarily true. Like the amount of money you have, it doesn't make everybody like just because you would do that with money, like you would go on an island and take a break forever. It doesn't mean everybody who has money does that. Some people truly enjoy running a business and paying their people properly. So like Sal is just one of those people. Like, does that mean like he'll be able to enjoy his fruits one day? He'll be able to like sit on an island if he wants to. But like right now, it's like people like him, like they like doing what they're doing.
Exactly. And right now I feel like I'm in grind mode for the businesses because this is going to be my highest earning year in my life. Like I'm talking, I went from working corporate America, making my highest at $380,000 a year, and then with bonuses, that was at Radio Shack as a area vice president. That I think I capped out at like 425,000 with stock options and stuff like that, and now I'm in it with my businesses, and I'm paying myself a salary of about 580,000 a year, as well as I'm getting ready to collect about 7.5 million worth of dividends off of all my companies. So even in a downtrodden year, although my profit margins have stayed the same and profits still being made, reservation fees are still being made, and I'm able to start looking to a pension fund for my moving company and logistic company and the people that work for me there, so we can have a pension for them. I really would like to have a nice pension for them. And this is probably my best earning year yet. And it feels like if I'm working this hard and I'm barely scratching the surface. And trust me, there's a guy in my close network of business owners that his net worth is about 500 million. He has an electronics manufacturing company. He has a real estate company that has about, with another partner of his, about $1.3 billion worth of property. Uh, it's both commercial and rental, and he has a ridiculous amount of car washes. I mean, a ridiculous amount. And on top of that, he owns 10 McDonald's franchises and two Chick-fil-A franchises. So, and the words to me is, as soon as you think you made big money, he said the biggest mistake was in his life was when he made his first year where he had a lot of money, he spent too much money on personal stuff that he really didn't need. And he's kind of the one that curbed me back from getting, like, going out there, getting cars, going and getting uh just, the lifestyle choices. He said, get yourself something that you want, but stop it at that, and just keep working and reinvest the money, because you think that that's going to be the best, but if you reinvest that money in a couple years, you're going to double what you did on your best year. So that's what I'm kind of going for. And to be honest with you guys, I'm really trying to hit that 100 million mark. I don't know if I'll hit it. It's going to be rough. It's going to be hard. I mean, this year kind of gives me a lot of hope towards it. But even at this year, it would take another 15 years at this rate to get there. And that's assuming what I invest in makes a steady profit. So, but keep in mind though, it is hard to do this shit. Like I think on last week's stream, I was exhausted because like everything caught up to me, because I was working nonstop, and then finally had a day off that I really just slept and relaxed, and all of a sudden just back and hit me, and I was like, that was probably the worst. I was like, worst feeling, as all that stress, effort, and everything just kind of compiled onto me on that. So I'm glad I feel a little better after meeting with my family and everything. But at some point, like I'm not going to keep this up forever. If I'm 55 and my net worth is only 25 million, I'm stopping anyway, because like at that point I'm just going to slow down, maintain, and move, and not try to go be as aggressive with growing things, because my grandpa said the greatest thing, because my grandpa worked all the way up until the day he died running his architectural firm and business, and he was he said his biggest mistake was not knowing when to retire. And I think my dad took it. My dad had 65, he retired. And I should have done I think I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to try to hit for 55. So
See, me, I'm starting at my age at 23. I believe by the time I'm in my 40s, I should be able to retire, especially with my roadmap and everything that I'm doing right now. Like, I can see myself retiring in my 40s, my mid 40s.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, Cody is 5 years ahead of where I was because I was just starting at 23. He's already been there, so he's already like 5 years ahead of where I was at 23. So he's definitely going to outperform me. I can tell you right now. It's just a matter of the time. But I think you, Cody, were and anyone in your early 20s, you are in at the right time because as the crash is coming, you can stockpile all your income into investing, and by the time you hit 30, you will probably have tripled, if not quadrupled, your net worth. And we're probably going to see a record number of 35 and under being multimillionaires. That's probably what's going to happen in the next 5 years because you're at such a perfect time if you invest
People are
wisely.
paying attention.
Exactly. And I think more people in your age group are starting to pay attention than my age group because my age group, nobody paid attention.
Yeah. It's because the people are like me. A lot of people my age are living at their parents' house. They're tired of not being able to be financially independent. So they're kind of like me. They're hungry for that financial independence. Like I talk about wealth a
Exactly.
lot, but what I really crave the most is independence. I want my own place. I want to be a homeowner. You know, I don't. I want to have a car that I like. I want to live the type of life that I enjoy because I'm a firm believer that life is meant to be thriving. It is not meant to be surviving. It is meant to be thriving. And just because other people are struggling, that doesn't mean you have to.
Yes, but you got to make the right decisions. And the more right decisions you make, they compound for your future. So it's like, could you work a second job or could you spend your disposable income on partying? Could you invest your disposable income or go take a vacation?
One of my friends said he grew up in a poor family, and even though his family was poor, they were still buying shit that other people in his financial situation couldn't imagine they were buying. Yet they were poor, and they were poor as those other people, but they were still buying crap out of their means.
Yes.
And he said he grew up poor, and they were still buying stuff like they were rich. It's
Yep.
crazy.
It's unfortunate, but that's the consumer mentality. Shout out to the sauce. I just got 12 chain links since October. I'm just starting though. Hey, congratulations on starting your journey. Even though it's in the $15 range, it's still a good investment
Oh,
for
you're gonna do well if you stack up to 100. If you get 100 to 1,000 chain link, I'd say go for 1,000. But if you can, definitely try to get 100. 100 to 1,000 link will get you a bag. Trust me. I'm not
absolutely.
promising returns, but Chainlink is such a good asset, and it's well established now. Chainlink has been in the crypto market since 2017. 2017, like we're almost in 2024, so that's 7 years ago almost.
Exactly. Let me get through some of these comments because you guys just keep coming through. Uh, Shout out to K Max. Again, welcome in. I'm holding Solana. What do you think about Injective? I'm holding Solana too, but I'm only holding 1% or less. I think it's less than 1% now. No, it's still at 1%. I'm only holding 1% of my portfolio in Solana. It's kind of like a Hail Mary pass, but I want to be very careful about Solana because VCs are kind of going crazy with trying to pump it to make their money back. So just be careful. My thing is I'm gonna try to make some money off of it and exit out before the dump. That's what I'm trying to do. Shout out to the sauce. Don't forget Killer Instinct, best game ever. I'll have to check that out. I don't remember it if it's an old game, but if it's a new one, I definitely haven't played it. Shout out to Bullet Labs. Uh, what's up? Glad to have you in here, buddy. Hope you're having a wonderful day chasing that bag. What do you think about Injective? Not sure what you're referring to there, K-Max. If it's about a crypto or a stock, I'm not too sure. Shout out to Crypto Caddy. An island would be boring after a week. Yeah, you go to like going to the Bahamas. You go there for like 3 days. After that, it's kind of done to me. Shout out to Carter. What's up, man? Hope you're good. Yeah, I'm great. Living the dream. Um, I hope you're doing very well out there. And I hope you're chasing that bag too. Shout out to Live and Learn. Make extra efforts to get time for yourself and enjoy your family. Yeah, I'm getting to the point now with my businesses where I have good managers running stuff. The only businesses I'm actively really in is my furniture store and my moving company and logistics company. Although there are people under, like I have area managers under in my moving company, and my brother runs the logistics company, but I still do business to business contracts and stuff like that because my brother's not really a salesperson. So I kind of do that for now until we can find someone that's as good or better than me that can do it. But we're getting to the point now I can take like 2 days off to go spend time with family. But I also work hard because I got people who are working hard for me, and they're not here to work hard for my lifestyle. They're here to work and provide for their families. It's my job to work hard and work with them to help provide for everybody and make sure that this business is still here while they can still collect a check. So because like a lot of people, when they run a business and it gets to like over 1 million, 2 million, or 3 million, or $10 million in revenue, all of a sudden everybody that's working in the business is no longer working to grow the business to help them. They're working to basically pay for the lifestyle of the owner as they buy all these toys and things that they do. And it's like I don't drive to my office or drive to my sites in a Lamborghini. I drive to it in my little Tacoma pickup truck that has no seats, no air conditioning, no no power windows, and no power seats, and no cruise control. So, and cruise control is actually, you think about it, it is a luxury because when you don't have it, it kind of pisses you off, but it also helps me stay awake when I'm driving because you have to keep your pedal going and keep managing that. Shout out to K Max. What should we invest in? I'm Gen X, tired of working a government job. Um, well, there's given it's like if you're Gen X, you're probably my age or a little bit older than me. Um, we got a short runway to get to where you want to be, but you have to make a list of what do you determine is financial success for you. And then what I recommend is go talk to a certified financial planner, maybe one with Pacific Mutual because they're really good. They have a great program. My financial advisor works with them, and they can lay out a plan to see where you want to be, how you're going to get there, and all the steps it's going to take to get there. That's the best way if you're looking to break away from the job. At this point, it's going to be hard to cast a Hail Mary, especially depending on. I don't know your lifestyle, your choices there. Um, yes, investing in crypto now could prove to be a good decision, but it also depends on what cryptos you're getting into. Because Cody and I really just do blue chip cryptos. We're not trying to find like small market cap cryptos to make a lot of money quickly. We're just kind of trying to do value based investing. So it's very hard, but the best step is to go to a financial planner. A lot of financial planners will give you that plan of action for free, and some of them don't even take management fees until you hit a certain net worth, and they'll help you get there. So just keep that in mind. And you have to see, because what is your level of retirement? Do you just want to be able to live comfortably in your own house, have your car paid off, and be able to it, or do you want to be able to afford the things, to be able to travel the world, live a life of luxury? You have to figure out where you want to be. Because my thing is like I don't live a very luxurious lifestyle, but I'm kind of at where I want to be, but my goal is always just try to make as much as possible. So I couldn't really tell you what to exactly invest in. And also, I'm not a financial advisor. I have a Series 7, so I'm a licensed broker. So all I did was buy and sell. That's all I did. So we really didn't give financial advice, although there's a lot of similarities between a broker and a financial advisor. It's just that I'm not obligated for your benefit. I'm just obligated to trade for you. And the only thing I have to do is tell you if I think it's a fraud, I'm going to tell you it's a fraud, and I will not invest your money in that. Shout out to El Ginty. I'm 33 and all I want is financial freedom and to retire my parents. Um, yeah, and like I said, you have to determine what your level of financial freedom is. Because my brother's level of financial freedom is live in a house in New Zealand and write books. That's it. And he doesn't need a lot of money for that lifestyle. So you just have to decide where you want to be and what type of wealth do you need to maintain it while not working a 9 to 5. So that's what you got to see. And we all want to retire our parents. My parents were both retired, although Trudy kind of came back in to help us grow the businesses and is going back to retiring. So we're kind of in that area where we're just my brother and I are finally building up and about ready to step away from the businesses, probably another 5 years. But my brother's only 35, so he's got even more years than I do. But you can still get there. I just recommend get a financial advisor and planner and figure out where you want to be. Shout out to DeSauce, single father of 2 young boys, chasing my dreams so I can be a stay-at-home dad. There you go. Just got to figure out what's it going to take to get there. And shout out to Zenboya. I hope I got that name right. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. Um, Shout out to Lex Diamond. Do you have kids? I do not. And I don't think Cody has kids either, but
No, I'm 23 and I don't have kids.
And let me tell you, like Monday, I think I had the record number of family court requests for child support. 31 on Monday. Just adjustments, changes. You don't want to live that life because I could tell you this next week's payroll on Monday because I pay weekly on my businesses now. There's gonna be a lot of why is this getting taken on my check? It's like, well, you have child support and they increased it because we report on a quarterly basis to the IRS, which then the IRS reports on a quarterly basis to the family court. So if you're working for us, then they report that you're making such and such money, and family court says, okay, well, he can pay more. And unfortunately, and there's one guy, he was so far behind on his child support, they took his entire check and there's no way he's going to make it up. It's 19.9% compounded interest. Like, this dude's never going to catch up. He's going to die being indebted to the system. So, as I said, you got to make sure you're very careful about bringing kids into the world and make sure you have kids with the right person, man or woman, and have a plan. And as always, marry before you carry, because that'll make life a lot easier if you do that. And there's a lot more benefits to it, too. I'm not talking about other things. I'm just talking about financial benefits. There's write-offs, tax deductions, all that stuff for married couples. So just keep that in mind. Shout out to System 31. What do you think about Microsoft? Microsoft is one of my biggest holdings. It is 32% of my portfolio. I have roughly $697,000 invested in Microsoft right now. And a lot of it went up significantly over the last month. A lot of it due to AI, cloud storage, all that stuff. They're making all the right moves, but I'm thinking about taking out profits because I've been investing in Microsoft since 2006. So we're coming up on almost 20 years of holding the stock. So it's definitely something I'm holding. I'm not exiting out of Microsoft. I think it's a great stock, pays great dividends. That's the main reason why I hold it. But I might take some profits because it is now getting up to almost $700,000 in value. So I probably shouldn't have that much money tied up into one stock. So I might take that money, divest it out, and put it into other stocks I have that are like only 2% or 3% of my portfolio. So we'll have to see. I'm still on the fence about that because I do get a lot of dividends, and there's a lot of value in holding Microsoft, as Microsoft is just going to be around forever because it's so integrated with banking systems and with business systems. Like I need Microsoft to even do a lot of the programs that I have for my businesses. So there's just no way around it for me. Um, uh, and shout out to you again. Do you buy toys? If you're talking about cars and stuff like that, I did buy an M4 competition. It is currently though just parked in the garage, so I don't drive it that much right now. But it's a cool car. I want to kind of do a video about it, but I just haven't had time to really go into the garage. Plus, I need to clean my garage. Like I got workout equipment. I got my brother's crap everywhere. We don't have an attic in our place, so we got all our Christmas decorations kind of like strewn about in there. So, and my dog Max likes to get in there and mess stuff up. It's crazy. So, we're once I get that cleaned, I'll be able to show you that. But I do have plans to get a Ferrari. That's been one of my dream cars. But if you don't know about anything about Ferrari, they're not going to let you buy a brand new one right off the bat. You have to buy a used one from them. See how you enjoy the Ferrari experience. And because I want the new 298 GT and then eventually be able to customize the SF90, but I can't even get to the 296 GT without buying a used one first, coming back in a year, and then I have to lose money on the 296 GT, like fully spec it out before they can even give you allocations of higher end models. So it might be like a 3 or 4 year journey for that, or I just can go buy one used. But I want to, now that I'm at the point where I have the wealth, I want to spec something out to how I like it and enjoy it that way. But right now, I'm trying to look for a house. We're coming to a point. My brother and I are gonna move out of the unit we've been renting right now, and probably be November next year that we won't renew the lease on it, and because we've been there for 4 years as we've been building everything, and now we just want to move out and kind of go back to living in separate houses. um, Going back to doing what we want to do. So you'll definitely get a video tour of the house I buy. I'll definitely give you guys that. Here you go. You're welcome, K Max, and shout out to Reese. Good Wednesday to you too, buddy. Hope you're enjoying the live. Thanks for all your support, and thank you guys for tuning in. Um, yeah, shout out to K Max. Yep, live comfortably. New Zealand sounds wonderful, like a cottage in the prairie. Hey, yep, that's like you said. Your financial dream doesn't have to be lavish. It just has to be reasonable enough for you to obtain, and you got to see how quickly you can obtain it. With, unfortunately, all you have to sacrifice for the things you want, and you have to sometimes sacrifice even friendships along the way. It's just part of the game. And shout out to Live and Learn. Uh, Impressed with Cody given his age. Yes, Cody has come a long way from when he was working for me a few years ago, and he's definitely making strides. And trust me, he's going to be up there. He's going to be up there. I'm just going to make sure I catch up on anything. Shout out to Live and Learn. I agree with you on Microsoft. Yeah, it's Microsoft is definitely a good pick. It's kind of like IBM. You just hold it for the long term. Although IBM's kind of falling off. I sold my IBM stock like 2015. Shout out to Lex Diamond. M4s are nice. Yeah, they are. The one I got has cognac seats with black and silver trim with the tan wood trimming on the dashboard, and then I have like the dark. It's not really dark, but it's like a deep green metallic paint. So it's pretty cool. I can't wait to show you guys that video when I clean up my garage. And unfortunately, Max, like, if I don't keep that garage closed, Max likes to poop in the freaking garage. Shout out to Reese Gunkel. I hope I got the name right, but definitely glad to have you in here. Investing. Shout out to me. At Simon, do you have any crypto? That's the main things that we're in. Crypto is about 11% of my net worth. Cody has most of his money in there, spare money into crypto. So yes, I do have a pretty large crypto holdings, not as large as a lot of other people, but still pretty up there. I mainly have those stocks, real estate, my businesses, and I have a little bit in private equity, which it has a value, but does not have a value because it's not liquidatable. Like I can't sell those for anything right now. I have to wait till the company goes IPO for me to sell that. Um, but I do invest in crypto. Right now, it's over 2 million. Um, but we'll have to see where that goes because I have a feeling we're going to have a nice correction. So everything I gained in the last month might go back down, but then again, I'm just dollar cost averaging in. So it's hard to say how much money I've actually put into it. I have to talk to my accountant, which we will have fun when we talk to him in at the end of January. Um, and I know Cody's has Quant, ETH, and Dot, and he's stacking ETH right now, trying to get to 3 ETH by the end of the year. But he might actually get to a little bit more because he's now got a better job paying him more, so he might be able to get a little bit more. Shout out to Joey V, bro. We're gonna be millionaires. You like Zillow stock? Um, I like the app Zillow, but as far as Zillow stock, no, it's probably gonna go back. It's probably gonna go back to where it is, or it's going to get bought out by some company because it's not. They made some mistakes during the last few years, and I don't see them really going too much further. Shout out to Callie, glad to listen in on all the great talk and advice. Have a great day. Build those bags. Hey, you too, buddy. Keep building and stacking for that retirement. I know you want to get out of the rat race. So hope you can, and I know you can. But hey, thanks for tuning in and giving us some of your time. We really appreciate it. Shout out to Live and Learn. I never knew that about Ferrari. Interesting. Yeah, Ferrari won't let you just walk in as a new. Even if you could afford it, they won't let you buy it. You have to be a good representation of the brand. Like they've been known to even sue people over violating their brand agreement. So just keep that in. That's one of the things that a lot of people don't know. That's why I say like a lot of those are like what's called the secondhand lease market. So like I used to sell them, and because I can sell them, I still can go in there and probably get a brand new Ferrari because I sold them at a dealer when I was in my early 20s. But even still, it's like I could go in there. I can get two lease allocations. I'll get one, and then the one I will sublease to like some rapper or someone else, and that's what a lot of people did who could get Ferraris, made money because people are willing to spend like if the lease was like 1,500, people would spend like 4,500 to get a Ferrari, and for some reason it was a flex to overpay for a car. I never understood that. But it's just one of those things. But I still think it's cool. There's actually a Ferrari dealer in St. Louis, so I'm definitely going to make the trip up there. I'm also hoping that when Cody hits that benchmark, to be able to get his 911, I want to go there with him to get his 911 and get one for myself. I'm only going to get it when Cody's able.
Oh yeah, you know it. You know that 911's coming because people who follow me on TikTok now. First of all, I'm never deleting my TikTok. I learned from that mistake. I had a page in 2021 called Daily Coins with a Z at the end, and my average views would be like 5 to 10,000. So one of my videos got 70,000 views on TikTok. Like I deleted a TikTok I made in the 2021 bull run when TikTok was fairly new, and I should have kept all those followers. So what I'm trying to say is, if you guys following me now, you guys are gonna see me pick up that 911 one day. You guys are gonna, because I have so much invested, especially for my age, especially in blue chip projects. I'm gonna get that Porsche within the next, I'd say 3, 4, 5 years.
Oh yeah, and that's how you gotta do. You have to see the a goal that you want and then plan for that objective there. And shout out to Live and Learn. Why do people flex over with overspending? I have no clue. Um, there were people out there. There was one YouTuber that was saying he was spending $14,000 a month on an Aventador, and I was like, you can get those off a lease for like 27.99 right now if you got good credit.
14,000 a month?
Yeah, 14,000 a month on.
What
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
you're not making. You are wasting money on that because like I'm
One
saying,
hundred sixty-eight thousand a year.
yeah, it's insane. I don't understand why overpay for it, but they're trying to flex like, yeah, I got all this money. Look at me frivolously throw it away. I've seen people talk about, well, I got a colon, I got this, I got that. Um, but it's like it's just like what they're doing is they're subleasing from someone who can get it, or they're getting it from offhand dealers. And if you don't have business, because like I could go right now to one of the local banks that we put our part of our reserve fund for some of our businesses in, and they'll loan us like a 2% loan off of that. Like I can get a 0% interest loan pretty quickly, but these guys they can't because their income is so unstable that it's hard for them to get these type of things. And if you want that lifestyle, you need to build a really consistent cash flow system so you can be able to afford that stuff. But I'm not tying up like I got to pay myself about 30. It comes, what was 580 divided by 12? Yeah, it's $48,000 a month that I pay myself. And you're talking about paying 25% of that just to a car, not counting insuring it, maintaining it, and all that other stuff. It's like, that is just asinine to me. I'd rather put the $14,000 into crypto than to do that. But shout out to K Max. Shout out to El Ginty first. I'm sorry. 911 is nicer, better than Lambos. Oh, I agree. And Porsches are much more reliable. So, like, if you wanted a fun car, that would be the car to get because it doesn't have as many maintenance issues. It's a better built. Like Lamborghinis are nice, they're flashy, but they're poor cars overall. They're just poor cars. So like you got to maintain them heavily and things like that. So I'd rather have a 911 than a Lamborghini. But I will say this: the newer models coming out do look very nice. Shout out to K Max. What a great hustle. Sublease Ferraris to silly rappers for 300%. Yeah, I did that in 2013 and 14. One of my first businesses that I was doing on the side while working for a corporate. I was in Florida at the time. And what I would do is I had a yellow Aventador, I had a Wraith, and the I had the Huracan, and then I had a couple BMWs, and I was leasing them and renting them out. And I had a rapper destroy my Aventador, just completely destroy it. And it was nice. It was all yellow with black interior with yellow trim and things like that. It was a very nice car. And I waited forever to get that. And I'm leasing it out. And I was making about like $20,000 a month off that car. But it came back, it smelled like weed, the seats were torn, the gearbox was damaged from mishandling the pedal shifters. And on top of that, the windshield was broken, the bumper was scraped, the bottom plate of the car was missing. I don't even know how that happened. So it was terrible. and that experience made me get out of that business.
I sure hope he doesn't have any cars of his own like that, unless he went broke. But damn, it's like,
Yeah,
how could you treat a rental, but a Lamborghini like that? Like how?
I because they don't care. They really don't care, and they're really degenerate. But it is what it is. I learned my lesson. It was an expensive lesson. I got out of the business, sold the cars, and moved on with my life. I'll say the Wraith was the best one I had. It was all white with a tan interior. You know, I it was a stock issued allocation to a Rolls Royce dealer. I got it on lease for $1,000 a month, and then I subleased it for 5,000 a month. And it was the best performer. And when I got it back, it was in okay condition. It's like they just didn't maintain the damn thing. Like that's the thing. Like because the oil changes were like a couple grand, tires were like about 20 grand for a set. So it was like you got to maintain the vehicle, but they can't do that if you're overspending on the vehicle. But I had that car, I fixed it up, and I just drove it around till I could find a buyer for it. And luckily, that kind of stuff, uh, use that type of stuff goes pretty quickly. Um, Let me get a shout out to Reese. What are your opinions on stacking gold and silver, even silver dollars and numismatic coins? Not right now. Someone earlier mentioned that any commodities and stuff like that, I'm not doing for a couple years. I'm not going to get into gold, silver, and platinum until a couple years from now. Although I see gold and platinum increasing significantly in volume because we need them in technology and circuitry. So they're gonna be expensive as well as with rare earth. But most of the rare earth comes out of China, so it's hard to buy it off the commodity markets when China has a monopoly on the material. Um, Shaolin, that's like getting free money at 2%. How much were the damages you got it back? It was about 180,000, and I couldn't fix it, so I just sold it as is to somebody. I think some other rental company bought it. I took the hit on the loan. It took me like another 2.5 years to pay it off afterwards. So like that's how much money I lost on that car. Because the car was new, like 600,000 at the time. That was the first Aventador, and it came back after when I bought it. The first wave of Aventadors had the gearbox problem, so if it went into gear 5, sometimes the car shut down. So it's, but it was such a fun car to drive. Like after that, I drove it around for a little bit. It was an eye catcher. I'm not gonna lie, it was an eye catcher. But unfortunately, that was not the business for me, and I would get way too pissed, and I'd have to assault the person giving me a car back that way. So I try not to do businesses that raise my blood pressure that much. Um, Shout out to Crypto Caddy. Do you take some kind of deposit on the cars? Yeah, I always made him put down, depending on it, either 10% or 20% deposit, which, especially if they're a rapper, usually the label paid, and I just get to keep the deposit. But the damage is so extensive, it outrange the deposit. So, like, if you're going to lease it for a year, my deposit would be like 20,000, and then you'd have to have insurance and all this stuff. But you also have to make sure you have police reports and file everything on time, which they don't do. My thinking on that Aventador was, aside from the tears in the seat, because that's probably from coarse clothing and things like that. Um, Maybe the plate underneath was driving it real fast and not paying attention to the road and running over something that they should have avoided. But the smashed windshield, the bumper, everything. I think they were dating some woman and she got pissed at something. They had an argument and she just trashed that car. And it's like it's not even his car. It's like, oh my god. Well, it is what it is. But we're kind of coming to the 2 hour mark. It's like, man, I was only planning for an hour, but here we are at the 2 hour mark. But thank you guys. You had a lot of engagement on the TikTok side. I've been meaning to get to you, Crypto Dream. About your comment about GameStop, I hated that supporting GameStop was a great way to punish the hedge funds. GameStop is such a despicable company, from what I heard. Never worked there. Yeah, I heard that too. Because when I left Radio Shack, I was going to become a district manager for GameStop, but the people that I knew that went from Radio Shack to GameStop said it was worse than working at Radio Shack. So I was like, I don't want to live that life. And then I went to go work for a furniture company after that. So that's kind of where I went. Shout out to Crypto Caddy. Yeah, life lessons. Life lessons with Sal. Yep. Oh man, it is. Ooh, that was a lesson. I was 33 at the time, and I thought that was going to set me back financially, but it did, but not as badly as I thought it was. Me selling the business though caused me to go through a divorce with my wife at the time, and that was a life lesson. That was a life lesson because that was probably the roughest lesson I heard. Because as soon as like in her mind that we perceived that I was making no money, she left. It was like, uh, getting a job is pretty easy for someone with a great. I have a great resume. I only have 4 companies on there, and then running my business now. But at the time, I only had I had Bank of America, and I had Radio Shack, and I had the company I had. So in her mind, she thought financial doom, and I guess that was her, and that sent me back financially because I had to break away so much financial assets. Like that was probably the worst experience when you're sitting at a freaking table as attorneys and an accountant and auditor are breaking up all your financial assets, your income, and everything. And I still had to end up paying her alimony for. And keep in mind, I just got out of alimony maybe 2 years ago because there's a limit for because we never officially moved to Florida. Like it was like a year into Florida that we left, so we didn't qualify for Florida rules. We had to go by New Jersey, and New Jersey said you can't collect alimony if you are living with another partner. And luckily that happened. And after about 8 years of paying alimony, which was like I think I was paying about 15% of my salary to maintain her lifestyle. But it was crazy because even at making $180,000 a year at Furniture Row, I was I was living in a roach infested apartment because I couldn't afford to pay her car payment and my car payment and the alimony and all my bills and the losses of the companies of the business that I had while trying to rebuild myself. So it sucked. And that's why I say like divorce sucks, and it gets even worse when the attorneys are involved. So yeah, live and learn divorce has been my largest lesson on psychology and legals from every direction. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You learn a lot of shit about divorce, about the court system and everything. Shout out to Reese, thoughts on BRICS and the stability of the US dollar. Well, let's just put it this way. China and Russia are on their way out. I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, they're this, they're that," but they're on their way out. More so China than Russia. China doesn't have the capacity really to even keep the lights on, and they're going through their crumbling right now. So I don't perceive the U.S. dollar being threatened, especially since we still have the biggest and most powerful military. We spend a lot of money on our military, and really, if China started a war, we could shoot down any nuke that they launch, as well as with a small fleet take them out. So but nobody wants to do that because that war would be devastating. But that's why the US dollar is always going to be in demand, and places where the economy in countries where the economy is gone, they're only accepting the US dollar, which is adding to the stability of the US dollar. BRICS was just fear mongering by a lot of people. They're not going to do anything. They're reliant on the US and the US dollar, and they hold a lot of the BRICS hold US debt. So there's nothing they can do. They're propping up the US dollar whether they like it or not. So they're just going to have to deal with it. I don't see the US dollar crumbling the way that everyone else said. It's just going to be what it's going to be. But I do see the value of the US dollar coming back, as there is more things are coming back to the US, such as manufacturing, stuff that would be positive movements for GDP, things like that. Especially since there's a lot of private companies that are now manufacturing for uh, spacefaring technology. So that's going to add to the value of our economy as we go forward. So, but I think we're all caught up. Man, it took forever to catch up with you guys, but yeah, we're glad to have you in. Glad to have all you guys in here, and thanks for all the support, likes, and everything. Um, Hopefully, guys, you can subscribe to the YouTube. Also, subscribe to Crypto Dreams YouTube. I gotta put his link in the description too, because we're gonna start doing a lot of content together with him and the channel. And there's gonna be some changes to the channel that we're hopefully gonna be positive to help, drive more people joining in. Shout out to Live and Learn, excellent live. Oh, definitely glad you guys enjoyed it. I know, because a lot of topics we talk about, we don't talk about in that flashy sense. We talk about it in how what actually is happening and how hard it is to get there, because that's the part I think people miss out on religiously, is that they don't learn. It's like, for some reason, we're caught up in thinking that it's going to be this phenomenal wave, and it's when you own your business, you make a lot of money, life is good, and it's not. It's a lot harder than that. There's a lot of lessons, a lot of things under the tip of the iceberg that you don't see that are coming. And someone like me, I pay attention to a lot of investing. I do a lot. I have a goal, financial goal I'm trying to hit. So, I'm always pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing as hard and as much as I can all the time. So, and, I just kind of want to share, like, it can be very successful. You can make a lot of money. But only 1% of the people who go my route make it. And I always say 9 to 5 saves lives. And then I always say, always, if I had to start over again, I'd probably go back to a 9 to 5, because it's just it's easier. All I got to do is make money for someone else, and they pay me well. At least that's how my experience. Because outside my first 2 years working when I graduated college, every year after that has been a 6-figure earner until I started the business. And then I went from like earning almost $200,000 a year to $20,000 a year. So there's a lot of life lessons, a lot of changing that I had to get used to and adapt to. But without further ado, I don't think Cody's coming back. I know he's coming in and out. We will have a live later today, going over some things, and uh, kind of going over deflation. There'll be a video about deflation I'm going to post, Patreon only, for a week, and then it's going to go to YouTube a little later. I'm going to start posting more short 5-minute videos for YouTube for you guys every day, along with, because I post shorts about charts and stuff like that constantly. But we have our market morning news every morning that we can, usually around 9:30 Central Time. And then we have, usually Wednesday, we cover scams. We need to cover the CZ and Binance issues there. Uh, every Thursday is Patreon only live, and then Friday is a live with Crypto Dream. Although this Friday I will not have that live with Crypto Dream, because I'm actually going with my brother. We're going to go see the new Godzilla movie, because he's really into Godzilla. I'm not really, but I can enjoy it. So we're going to go. We're going to actually go to the movie theater and watch it. So it's going to be fun. And then Saturday is What's in Your Business, and Sunday is What's in Your Portfolio. Those lives start at 10 a.m. And then, of course, on Monday afternoons, we have Money Mondays. And then Tuesday is kind of like a wild card day. We just talk about any topics that go on. But we do appreciate you guys joining in. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. They're free. Follow Cody on TikTok, codyharris.eth. Give him a follow, and give Crypto Dream a follow on TikTok and on YouTube. Hopefully, we're trying to get him to 500 subscribers. A great, hardworking family man, and he has a great viewpoint on crypto and everything. So we're definitely glad to have him in here. He's been a long-time supporter of ours from the beginning. So really appreciate that, and really appreciate all you guys for liking, subscribing, and listening into us every time we do a live. So really glad to have you in here. And Crypto Caddy, you too. You have a great day, and hopefully all have a great day making that money for your bags, chasing your dreams. And always remember, make sure to respect the process. Don't invest more than you're willing to lose. Don't moonshot your life savings. And as always, make sure you take profits along the way. Don't sit here and say it's going to the moon or die. No, take profits as you go. Take profits as you go. Always do that. But with that said, guys, I really appreciate everything that you guys do. I hope you have a great day. We'll be back on. At around 6 p.m. tonight Central Time for our financial news and scam edition of our lives as we talk about Binance and CZ. I know Crypto Dream already has a nice video out on it, so go check out his channel and his video. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna watch it soon, later today. So, and hopefully, you guys have a great day. Thank you so much, and we will be seeing you later.